Is this okay to stand right here?
Definitely. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Left Bank Books is proud to present Missouri photographer Robert E. Hulsey to discuss his beautiful coffee table book full of splendor and history, Missouri Where the Rivers Run. All right, and tonight's event is possible because of your support. Whenever you support Left Bank Books, your money goes directly into the local economy. It keeps us open, and it also keeps your streets paved, your libraries funded, your parks free, and all the other wonderful things that make St. Louis such a beautiful place to live. Thank you all for shopping local. We also want to welcome our virtual audience tonight. Hi. And my name is Elena Jove, and I'm a bookseller here at Left Bank Books, and I'll be your host for this evening. Let's see what else. We do want to tell you about some upcoming events, especially the one we'll have tomorrow night, which will be here in the store at 6 p.m. We'll be hosting Calvin Riley to discuss his new book, Black St. Louis. We are so happy to be hosting authors who are talking about local history, local stories, and just for all of us to get to know Missouri and St. Louis better. So please check out our calendar on our website at left-bank.com to see a full list of all of our programming. So a little bit about this book. I won't say much because I'll let Robert do that. Missouri is known for its scenic rivers, renowned state parks, and beautiful vistas. The state offers enjoyment to anyone seeking a variety of landscapes, natural wonders, charming small towns, as well as cosmopolitan urban adventures. In Missouri, Where the Rivers Run, follow photographer Robert E. Hulsey on a visual journey across the Show Me State as he travels from the rolling plains in the northern part of the state to the Ozark Mountains in the south, showcasing the natural heritage all along the way. Through the lens of his camera, Robert captures as many wonders of the state and people who call it home. And just a little bit about the author. Robert E. Hulsey is a photographer with 45 years of experience. He currently lives in Raytown, Missouri. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Well, hello everyone. It's kind of different being on this side. I'm generally on that side taking pictures. But this time I'm in front of everybody. That's not at all nervous. I'll tell you just a little bit about myself. I got married in 1975, and we got married in April, and in August was my birthday, and my wife brought me a camera for my birthday present. And at the time, I was living in a little town called Sullivan, Missouri, which is about 65 miles southwest of here. And they were in the process, the Corps of Engineers was in the process of trying to dam the Merrimack River. And I was with a group of people that didn't want it dammed. So I met a guy, and he was a photographer, and he said, the way we got talking, he said, I need a darkroom in this area. And I said, well, I'll be able to do a darkroom. I said, I just want two things, an enlarger and to pick your brain. And that's how I learned to become a photographer. I picked his brain for 2 years while he was doing covering the Corps of Engineers and the people who were fighting against the dam. Throughout my life, I was a photographer. I worked for the state of Missouri for several years. I was a newspaper photographer and had my own business for about 10 years and put 2 kids through college being a photographer. And I knew Indiana University is doing a series of books where they do each individual state similar to the book that we produced for Missouri. And I knew the editor, and he called me up one day and said, you want to do this? And I said, well, yeah, fun. And so I had a year to do it, or about a year and 6 months. I started it in April, is that right? Yeah, April of 17. And I finished shooting it. The winter fall of 18. And so, and then COVID hit, and so everything stopped. You know, you couldn't get anything published. Anyway, so finally it's finally published. So, that pretty well brings me up to today. So here goes. This is a picture of Greer Springs, which feeds into the 11 Point River. The spring itself is back over this direction from this picture. This is downstream just a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful area. If you ever floated at 11 Point, you know, it's just gorgeous. Okay, how come we're not working? Oh, there we go. This picture here is of Grand Falls. It's just outside of Joplin, Missouri. This is during flood stage. The spring that I shot the spring that I shot, everything was flooding. I mean, it was torrential downpours all the time. Everything was high water. But this is the largest continuous waterfall in the state of Missouri. And it's just outside of Joplin, easy to get to, off of 44, just a little bit. So it's really easy to get to, very pretty. Then, and upstream from that is another, where the bridge crosses. It's a real pretty area to go to if you ever wanted to go to that area. Lake of the Ozarks in the fall. Now this is one of my favorite pictures of the book. The first picture you saw was my favorite. Yeah, right at my favorite picture. This is the second favorite picture, or it's in the top 5 anyway. Of course, it's the arch. But what I like about it is you see so many pictures of the arch. You know, this to me gives a great scale. Normal people way down here. The arch goes way up there, even further. And the fact that it's stainless and beautiful, and you know, I just really, really like that picture. Well, that's just a
Crane.
Crane. Thank you.
Blue heron.
Blue heron. That's
Blue
what we
heron.
got. Courthouse in St. Louis. Fall leaves. This is at Marys County, off of 63 Highway. There's an overlook pass or a drive off that has this overlook, and that's it. Very pretty. This is the first sunset of winter in 2017. Not that the year matters, but anyway, that was the first sunset of winter that year. This is the courthouse in Lexington, and I didn't know it at the time, but apparently I wish I'd known it at the time, but apparently Lexington has a real strong, a real nice Civil War museum and stuff, and there's supposed to be a cannonball in that picture, in that building someplace. I never saw it, and I walked around the building, but anyway. Now, I lived in Kansas City, of course. That's St. Louis, of course. I can't tell you how many times I drove by, because one night it was all lit up. And this picture's taken over in Illinois. And I drove over to Illinois to get that picture, and it was 5 minutes after 10, and the place closes at 10 o'clock, and they won't let you in for nothing. Beautiful. It was lit in blue. It was just beautiful. I drove back 5 more times at least. Every time I was around St. Louis, I'd drive by there, and there was lit again. So what are you going to do? And this is Kansas City. This is at a major intersection. This is I-70 here. And that's 435 going that way, and the Kansas City skyline. One of the things that I liked about the book that I did, me being over in Kansas City, I got more pictures of Kansas City actually than I did of St. Louis. And most of the books that I've seen about the state was always really St. Louis heavy. No offense to St. Louis, but it was kind of nice to get some Kansas City, west side of the state pictures in.
That's Kansas City, Kansas City, isn't it?
Yes, that was Kansas City too. Now this is up the street from my house, in the middle of Raytown, Missouri. Hey, it's actually a cemetery that it's not full, of course, and they plow it and they cut it every year and make hay, and is still a nice picture.
That's the capital. That's the capital.
Yeah, that's the Capitol. It's reflection in the governor's gardens of the Capitol. That was, again, the state was getting ready for its 150th or 200th.
Bicentennial.
Bicentennial was in 2021, I believe that's right. And because of the COVID, the book didn't get published until this year. And you can't really tell from here, but the Capitol was under construction. They were doing major construction of the outside of it for the celebration in 21. And anyway, it was hard to get a picture strictly just of the Capitol because it had all the scaffolding around it and that stuff. So that was an interesting way of getting a picture of the Capitol, but hiding some of that stuff. Another view of the Capitol. This is Highway 54 here, Capitol of commercial fishermen at dawn. Canoeing the Missouri River is fun. People should do that. This is off of Tomsock Mountain, which is it's this where I took this picture again is from an overlook from the state park. The actual tallest part of Missouri, there's a plaque about a half a mile from where this place is that you have to walk up to. You can't drive up to it. And it's just a plaque in the ground that says, this is the highest point of the state of Missouri. This is much better representation, I think. And it's pretty. I like the different colors. You know, we're getting different shades of blue and green and grays. Missouri's such a pretty state. Again, same area. This is from the seven fingers in Columbia. Seven fingers, right? Isn't that right? Seven Finger State Park. This is Castor River shut-ins. It's just outside of St. Genevieve. See the St. Genevieve Fredtown. They're real close together, and I forget which one it is. But it's real pretty. Pinks, just beautiful area. Easy to get to. A day trip from here without a doubt. And and this is also this is upstream from that previous picture. Yeah, just beautiful area. Just beautiful. Yeah, matter of fact, see these white wires here? I was looking that way, and then I turned around and looked that way. Beautiful area. Alley Springs, again in flood stage. Down around Eminence, Missouri. This is the actual alley springs here. There's a you can see it here. There's a path that goes all the way around the springs and down down one of the corridors. This is Hahatonka State Park. Looking down, I'm up around the Hahatonka ruins. I'm standing just not too far. The ruins are back over in this direction from that picture. And they weren't real busy that day. I seen that where that whole cove was full. This is down in Bennett Springs. It's one of the four trout state parks. We actually have 3 state parks, and then Merrimack Springs is a privately owned foundation that takes care of Merrimack Springs. But this is Bennett Springs here. Sometimes you have to have more guts than brains. And these are some life-size trout that will be released in a day or two. In all 4 of the parks, they start from the embryo all the way to releasing. I don't know how many they release a day, but it's quite the process. Here again, this is still Bennett Springs here. Bennett Springs again. Now, some of these pictures aren't going to be in the book, but this is. You get to see some stuff that's not going to be in the book. Sunrise at Lake of the Ozarks. I'm not sure what your arm that is.
That's the Ozark arm. I mean, that's the Osage arm at 56.
What she said. The Osage arm up around 56 Highway.
No,
56
mile marker.
Mile marker, sorry.
That's my husband.
That's her husband. A fun place to be. This is one of my other favorite pictures of the book. This is from Pickle Creek in Hahn State Park on 32. Hahn State Park is on 32 Highway between Farmington and St. Genevieve, I believe it is. Or Frederick. I get those 2 mixed up. But anyway, Pickle Creek is just a real nice little creek that runs through the park, and I love that rock. This is the Kansas City baseball stadium, the cave. Got the moon in the picture here. This is Dixie. Little Dixie. Yeah, this is Little Dixie Conservation Area, off I-70. Not too far from here. Yeah. Pretty. More trout. This was taken at Whiteman's Air Force Base. They had an air show, and me and Elizabeth and her husband went, and I thought that was a cool picture. Scary. I would hate to have one of those coming down on me. Okay, this was taken at this is Missouri White Water Races. It's held every spring. It's at Millstream Gardens Conservation Area. Again, outside of St. Genevieve or Fredericktown, whichever one it is. And one of the things that I like about this picture so much is that the fact that the people can get right down to the river. and be right on top of them, and they're doing this slalom course that is just incredible. Just just pretty typical Missouri to me. Here again, this is at the Whiteman Air Show. It's a B-1 bomber.
B2 and A10s.
Okay.
Are they in the B2?
Again, these aren't in any particular order. I guess you figured that out. Again, the whitewater races.
This hasn't changed.
This is Reed Springs. One of the few times that I stayed in a hotel, I camped most of this whole thing. And one of the few times I stayed in a hotel, I don't remember the name of the hotel, but it was a little hotel in Eminence. No, Ironton. And I was looking through the folders, not the folders, but the brochures that they had out. And one of the brochures said six springs in one day. And it told you how to hit 6 major springs in that part of the country in one day. You can do it in one day if you only spend about 5 minutes in each place. I mean, you got to get in and get out to do all 6 of them. But I did 4 of the 6 because I did the other 2 the next day. But I mean, anyway. This is Reed Springs. This was a bonus. That was really part of the 6 springs they were talking about. This was a little spring on the way, and I just, that's pretty. This was down in Ozark County. We were camping at a campsite on the 11 Point River, and being from Kansas City, it's not easy getting pictures like this because there's too much light pollution. But down there's not much light pollution, and the Milky Way is right through here.
Is that at sunset?
No, that is. This was like at 3 o'clock in the morning. This was some city. I don't know. I don't know.
It's 6:24, Daddy. Yeah.
What?
It's 6:24.
It's 6:24? Okay. This was coming out of Blue Springs, down the contributor. It was down just a little bit from Blue Springs.
Like Blue Springs, Missouri, or Blue Springs, St. Louis?
No, Blue Springs.
My Blue Springs?
No, Blue Springs.
Okay.
There's Blue Springs. It's in Missouri. It's called Blue Springs. Beautiful blue. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Well, I know they found the bottom of it, but I mean, it's deep. And that was part of the 6 things at 6 in one day. Why aren't you working?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. It could be.
I think it's done.
Probably is.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay, that's all. That was the last one I had in what?
Just share with the group a little bit about the difference between your book and other states they've done in terms of the urban.
Okay, what I was told by the editor, and I warned him in advance of this too. I said, my background has been in newspaper photography and doing picture stories of people. And I told him I would, now none of these pictures have it in there, but I told him that I would, because all the other books that I had seen of this series had nothing but scenic pictures in it, no people. And I said, well, I can't tell a story in Missouri without showing some pictures of people. It's just impossible. So he said, you do what you want to do. It's your book. So there's pictures of a couple of girls Cuba, they had the Crawford County Fair, which is a little small town southwest of here a bit, and it's just a country town. And I got two little girls. Oh gosh, they were 8, 9 years old, showing their cows, and it was real cute. And then I've got another picture of an older girl showing her cows. That she was 16 years old or something like that. And then I've got some pictures of a dear friend of mine. She didn't show up tonight, but she's got a farm on the Merrimack River, and kind of between the Merrimack River and the Brazil, and one of the places I grew up, lived in. She has a farm, and it's like living in a postcard. I mean, it's just beautiful where she lives, and there's a picture of her. She's my age. She's run a 500-acre cattle ranch. And then after her parents died, she's running their farm by herself. She's my age, still working.
That's why she's not here.
That probably is.
Good point.
It probably is.
That's right. No,
That's crazy. Anyway, that's, any other questions or anything?
But that was one thing he enjoyed. They liked was the fact you brought people in from Missouri.
Yes, oh, yes. Dave was very happy with it. Dave's the editor of the series, I guess. He's doing the whole series, and I don't know, it's been very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. I loved doing it. Yes, sir.
How much control did you have over which pictures made it in and which ones did not?
I would have had more control than I realized I had, to be honest with you. This is the first. Now I've been published for years, but this is the first actual coffee table type book that I've done solely by myself, and I didn't realize they picked pictures. I sent them all the pictures that I thought was worthy of being in, and I thought they were going to pick them all out. Well, come to find out later, they just picked them all out because they just started picking pictures. And if I had had the opportunity, if I had known, if I ever do another book again, I will know that I have a little more say in things than what I thought I had.
Okay.
COVID disrupted a lot of the communication.
Oh yeah, without completely, because it was almost 2 years from the time I turned everything in until I got a phone call. Gosh, I know I drove Dave crazy because it was during COVID and I lived by myself, and Raytown didn't exactly shut down for COVID, and all the things that I needed were open. So I'd call him up every 6 months. Hey, how's it going? Well, come to find out, his place was shut down. Whew. They didn't go into work. They didn't do any work. I mean, it was. So I know I drove him crazy. What about my book? What about my book?
Not helped by the fact that I was also asking about the book.
And we
Right.
and we were.
And everybody was. Where's your book? How come it's not out yet? So anyway, any other questions? Surely there's something. Yes, sir.
How far north did you go?
Oh, I covered the entire state, every county, 114 counties plus St. Louis, I believe it is. Most of the stuff I did, most of the places I went to was not me. The state is so big, and I really only knew the parts of the states that I lived in, kind of. And so I was, what do I look for? Where do I find pictures? Well, state parks and conservation areas is because that's where most, if it's something pretty, it's probably in a state park or a conservation area. Now, that's not 100% true, but mostly true. And so I try to hit every state park and most conservation areas. Two different approaches to, they both have the same mission. State parks are much more monitored. They have park rangers there all the time, very restrictive about what you can do and can't do. I talked to a ranger and technically it is illegal for me to pick a plant to get it out of the way of the picture I want. If I have a great picture here, but there's this ugly weed growing up in the middle of it, technically, I can't destroy that weed because it's state property and their whole idea is preservation. A conservation area is not quite as monitored. I mean, there may not be a ranger there for a couple weeks or longer. And you have much more, well, they allow hunting and fishing on the properties. Both of them do first-rate work, but a little different, you know, so. Anybody else? Surely there's somebody else might have something.
So you said you did a lot of camping along
Yeah.
your journey here. What were your favorite places that you were camping and photographing?
If I have, Johnson Shut-In State Park is a great state park. It's right in the middle of everything. Montauk State Park is 20 minutes from my campsite. Elephant Rock was just up the road. Ironton was there, a lot of stuff in Ironton.
Tom Saw.
Tom Saw is, you know, so, that's, and beautiful, you know, I mean, just.
Did you say that was your, where did you take that one at?
That is downstream from Blue Springs.
So what, we were talking about it on the way down here, your favorite picture, where you went camping, isn't that your favorite area too?
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah,
was that? Where was that?
right up there.
Okay.
I mean, within, not here, this was about an hour
Okay.
from the campsite, or from the state park, Johnson Shut-In State Park. But, don't take this the wrong way, excuse me, but southwest or southeast Missouri is without a doubt the prettiest part of the state. I mean, no offense to the rest of the state. The rest of the state has all kinds of beauty. As a matter of fact, if you get the chance in the springtime when the wildflowers are blooming, go someplace out, Bourbon, Cuba, wherever you want to go. Get off the highway and get on a dirt road. And it's like driving through a bouquet of flowers. I mean, it's just astonishing how beautiful it is with all the different flowers bouncing around. Just a wonderful, wonderful, pretty.
Was there anything that, you know, you've traveled the state a bunch.
Yeah.
But was there anything that in the course of putting this together that was a surprise?
I wouldn't say so.
A newfound place discovery?
Oh, newfound places, of course, but you know, I mean, the terrain up in northern Missouri is so much different than it is in southern Missouri.
In the Boot Hill.
And the Boot Hill. Oh yeah, yeah. The Boot Hill is a wonderful, wonderful area too. Beautiful. Anyway, anything else? Yes, sir.
So what equipment are you using? Digital? Did you use film? Did you use your
Um,
phone or?
The phone is pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I get frustrated at that too, that phone takes clear pictures in my camera sometimes. Yeah.
It really does. And they're punishable. I mean, I had turned in a couple pictures from my phone to be, but they didn't make the cut. But anyway, I use a Nikon 750D. It's a digital camera. It shoots a full size. Most digitals shoot that small frame, but this shoots a full size 35 millimeter frame. I really nice. I've always shot Nikons, and it's a nice platform. Most of the lenses, I had two. Of course, nowadays it's much different what it was when I started. But zoom lenses are very good now. When I first started, you had to have a whole camera bag full of lenses for your whatever situation you're in. I do basically use two lenses for most of this, a 35 to 75 f2.8 and a 80 to 200 f2.8. And I've got other lenses too. I mean, but most of everything is shot at using those two lenses, and most of them, not all of them, but most of them were at 400 ASA, simply because that gives you, with film it was different because you'd get your grain structure would get so bad, but with digital you can shoot up to 3200 and not worry at all. You know, I mean, you don't get any. Well, I guess if you were a crazy person, you might find some degradation, but for people like me and you, I mean, for an 8x10, you can shoot a 3200 and make an 8x10 of it, and you wouldn't know the difference.
What were you shooting these water pictures here at? What speed?
Oh, gosh, most of them were shot. I didn't want to shoot. I wanted to bring my lens aperture down. I didn't want the lens aperture wide open because I wanted a little depth of field.
Right.
And to get this water moving the way it is, it had to be around
1200?
half a second to a second
Okay.
of exposure time. So, and that's how you get the rim of the water, making the water look not still. I mean, that says running water, where if I took it at a higher shutter speed,
right,
it wouldn't have said running water.
I think you have a question back here.
Yes, sir.
What seasons did you primarily shoot in, and what seasons did you primarily shoot in?
Year round.
Okay, and what parts of the state were better than others in other parts of the year?
Oh gosh. On the west side of the state, it's a little bitty town. It's off of Interstate 47. Is that right?
49.
49. Interstate 49. It goes from Kansas City down to Arkansas.
Okay.
Prairie State Park. It's some of the last untilled prairie in the state of Missouri. And they have a buffalo herd on it too. So that's another, not the best camping in the world. It's size, and they were all primitive. No running water, it was. But in the springtime, when the prairie is there again, you're looking at a bouquet of flowers. I mean, it's just, oh my God. It's just everywhere you look, and they have nice hiking paths through there. The other part, without a doubt though, the prettiest part of the state is southeast Missouri. South.
To you.
Not the Bougie.
To you.
The Bougie only has a little bit in it.
St. Francis Mountains.
In that area, Eminence, Ironton, in those areas there,
And then no matter what season?
Well, there's always the river. You know, anytime you get on a river, you're having a good time. You know, so.
Having been photographed by you in our Jeff City days together, do you have a favorite picture you've taken in your entire career?
Of my entire life?
Or an individual, or I knew you were there when Governor Ashcroft was in office. And
He's one of my favorites.
Father, come on, I know the guy.
I've got, it depends on the genre. Okay? There's several pictures in what I did in the state. Of course, I don't know how many pictures. One time I was down in southeast Missouri, in the Eminence area. And being as I'm shooting digital now, I don't have to be quite as picky as I was with film, because I can shoot forever. I came home with 1,000 pictures that I had shot that weekend. You know, so I don't know how many pictures shot for the whole thing, but there's several in this project that are up there. I've got a couple of football pictures that when I used to work when I lived in Jeff City, I worked for the News Tribune and photographed their sports. And I've got a couple of pictures through that era that sports that I really like. And then I got a couple portraits that I've done that I really like. So I wouldn't say there's one picture, but there's several. Okay, how are we doing on time?
It's 6:45.
Oh, yeah,
Time
doing
sign.
pretty good. Yeah, so we can, if there's any maybe final questions, we could probably do one more. No, we can go ahead and sign, and thank
Okay.
you for Robert for his presentation.
Is this where I'm signing?
Yes.